All right, Shalom. Before I get started, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai, Kahala Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rechakodash. Double honors to the elders, apostles, great millstone who rule well and teach well, and who are the true leaders of Israel today. Stop with Elder Apostle Tahar on down. And also like to give double honor to the head and the elder of the Man of Israel camp, the Chazak, whom I teach under, down here in Greenville, South Carolina. And also like to give another shout out to you, sincere Akim, you brothers out there that's pushing this word and this truth in all sincerity and righteousness in these last days. All right, to y'all, I'd like to say shalom. All right, I'll come back through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shem Shah with another exaltation video. And Lord willing, this video will be found edifying. It's going to be a quick one. All right, it shouldn't be too long. Basically, I wanted to go over this article, all right, that I saw in the end time headlines because, it matches up with prophecy, man. All right. And I kind of did a similar video going into this topic a little bit, maybe like 2 weeks ago, dealing with the gas prices. But now it's starting to affect the airlines, which, people traveling, over the airplanes, man. When people got to travel, further, it's leading to that point now. So it says American Airlines could run out of fuel within weeks as travelers' chaos spirals before summer. You see, there ain't gonna be no more, hot girl summer, none of that, man. Y'all is gonna be in the house this summer, man. Lord willing, Yahweh Ratazah. Because that's all the nigga woman, want to do is take trips and, just live licariously, man. Not concerning the times that's not, considering the times, that's going on, man. With this war with Iran, the Passat here, what else you got? We leading closer to the sea hip each and every day, famines, different pestilence, these nigga women ain't caring about that. They caring about the next trip they're gonna go on, man. So it says airlines are heading into summer with a brutal fuel shock that is already forcing fare hikes, route cuts, and fresh fears of travel chaos. A fast-moving supply squeeze has sent jet fuel prices soaring and rattled carriers on both sides of the Atlantic. In the U.S., big airlines are already scrambling as costs surge, and executives warns the hit could last well beyond the busy travel season, which is the summer. Because you have motherfuckers coming from all over the place, all over different states. You may have somebody from like South Carolina, for example. I'm in South Carolina. You may have somebody trying to go all the way to fucking, LA. Vice versa. You may have somebody from LA trying to go to New York. New York trying to go to LA. Ain't gonna be none of that, man. You see, now, South Carolina, you drive right to North Carolina. You can drive. You don't need to go on no damn airplane, to go to no damn North Carolina or, somewhere like that, within like 5 hour period, If that travel is 5 hours, just drive that. But something like 8 hours plus, hey, more than likely you gonna want to take a plane, especially if you older, I mean 8 hours I still could drive that, that ain't really nothing, it is something, but it ain't nothing at the same time. But this goes to show you that, Esau is starting to, put a hold on traveling, man. And we know that's prophecy. We know that lines up with biblical prophecy, man. You see, because he wants to control everybody, man. You see, he wants everybody to be. That's another reason he's building these 15-minute cities, man. Because he wants everybody to be within his eyesight, pretty much. He want to be able to see, how many people there is in a certain city. That's why he's having these 15-minute cities, because it's easy, to control the population. He don't want everybody to be over there and everybody over here and everybody. No, he want to be able to control shit, man. That's why the scripture say this man's trying to be like God, because he want to see everything. He want to know everything. So it says the Argus U.S. Jet Fuel Index and industry benchmark tracking wholesale jet fuel prices climbed to $4.57 a gallon on March 27th. Meanwhile, the spot price for jet fuel in the U.S., the going market rate for immediate purchase hit $4.24. That's a lot, especially to full up, airplane. Matter of fact, how many gallons does it take to airplane? Jeez, damn. It says airplane fuel capacity varies significantly by aircraft size, ranging from roughly 50 to 60 gallons for a small sensor trainer to over 60,000 gallons for large long-haul airlines like the Boeing 747-8. A typical Boeing 737 hold around 7,000 gallons. Fuck. Even a small one still, See, we used to put what, man, we may put like 8 gallons in, 10 gallons in, the tank. That ain't nothing compared to a fucking what needs to be inside of an airplane. So, hey, this hot girl summer, hey man, that shit about to be cut short, man. So it says, where we at? It says, meanwhile, the spot price for jet fuel in the U.S., the going market rate for immediate purchase hit $4.24 a gallon last week, up from about $2.50 before the first scrap on Iran, Fox News reported. The crunch is being driven by the war in Iran and the description running through the Strait of Hormuz. You see? So you get the point, man. The point is that Esau is trying to cut out traveling. Esau don't want y'all to go to these other states because he want to control the population. And it could, not to say, but it could be, another lockdown coming. And that's why he don't want y'all to travel. That's why he might cut out traveling. Because we know that another shutdown is coming. We don't know when, but we know it's bound to happen, quickly, especially when the Passover is already here. It's currently, all right, the Passat right now, man. So let's get this one scripture. And I really just had one scripture, It's in the book of 2nd Esdras, chapter 15, and verse 17. And it says, a man should desire to go into a city and should not be able. You see? The scripture say a man should desire. You gonna want to, for whatever, the case may be. Maybe you want to see family. Maybe you just want to take a trip. Maybe it's a business trip, vacation, whatever. You're going to desire to want to go to, that different city or that different state, but you're not going to be able to for whatever reason. And this reason could be what? Because of gas prices. Gas too goddamn high. You don't even see people traveling how they were because of the gas prices. I drive a Honda. Even my Honda, that shit take a little, starting to, take a little, starting to, eat up, gas money, man. Just imagine somebody with like a truck or something, like a L150, 250, Imagine somebody with something like that. Imagine how much. And then 9 times out of 10, they gotta put diesel in. That's even higher. That's $5. That's like 5 and some change here. God forbid you gotta put diesel in. God forbid. So, hey man, people ain't doing too much traveling now. As you see these gas prices starting to rack up, it says a man should desire to go into a city and should not be able to. You see? You're not gonna be able to, go to that city or this city or the next city because of, the gas prices or because of the lockdown, for whatever reason. These are times we about to come into, man. This is prophecy. They trying to stop y'all from, going on the airlines. Because they know damn well nobody really not too many people gonna drive all the way from, like I said, I gave the example from New York to fucking Cali or Cali to New York. Ain't nobody driving that goddamn far. But what will they do? They will hop their ass on those airlines. And y'all should already know not to really even trust those airlines, especially after all those, airlines that was crashing, around 2024, 2025, I believe. When you had, all those, airplanes crashing, the year the airplane crashes, But, hey, man, this goes to show you, man, hey, you're not going to be able to go to your next, lo and behold, if you can't go to your next city, this says city right here. Lo and behold, what if another state? If you can't even go to the next city, and, we understand that, martial law going to be out here. That's another reason you're not going to be able to go to your next city, because martial law going to have these what you call them? They're going to have a different area blocked off to at the point you're not going to be able to cross over for whatever reason. These are the times we're coming into, man. Hey, it's going to be to the point you're going to have to really travel on foot. It's going to be dangerous driving in the car. It's going to be more easy to get around on foot than it is in the car. Because you can, go back roads and, walk. But car, you can only drive on certain roads. Car ain't going to be able to get through certain wooded area, like how you would on foot, So Lord, when this video was edifying, I'm going to close it with giving all praise and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shah, Bahashem, Rechakwadash. Double honor to the elders apostles of Great Millstone who rule well and teach well, and who are the true leaders of Israel today. Stop with elder apostles to harm down. Double honor to the head and the elder of the men of Israel camp, the Chazak, whom I teach under down here in Greenville, South Carolina. And shalom to you, Akim. Shalom.